Today I want to tell about a plugin that I found out recently and I want to share it with you. So I use DaVinci Resolve for editing my videos, but recently I found out about this plugin that's called Dehancer, and I know that it's also available for Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Photoshop, Capture One Pro and some other apps. To describe it shortly, I'd say that it has some authentic film-like effect and videos start looking more, professional. So let's start from the very beginning, how to download this plugin. And on the main page you would find these links. I choose DaVinci Resolve. I've used this Dehancer Pro since it has all the other features that are described below. It has been around 6 months since I started using DaVinci Resolve, and to be honest, when I have to switch from one app to another one, I'm a bit stressed because each time you have to learn about this tool, you need some time to get used to that, etc. And I was also a bit scared about Dehancer because I didn't know how that would look like and how to use that, but that appeared to be very user-friendly, and now I want to show you how it looks like in the app. When you open DaVinci Resolve and set everything up, you would find Dehancer here in Filters, Dehancer Pro. Just to apply that to your video, and you would find this effect here on the right side. So the first thing I didn't like, and I was a bit, confused about that, you could notice the grain. And I was a bit like, I haven't applied anything yet, but then I found out that yes, you can switch this grain off a bit below. You have to find that, and here it is, film grain. You can just disable that. Now let's see what it actually has. To be honest, I always struggle with all these contrast light settings because I record my videos on my iPhone and it looks pretty good on iPhone, but when I start editing it, it has a pretty high contrast. You can see it right now, and I actually don't like that. So use the color panel here. It has plenty of many different tools, but Dehancer makes it easier because when you apply that, you already see these changes and it's just perfect. So let's start with the first thing, input. Here in the source you can choose your format and you can see how the picture changes just at once. A bit below you can find some basics like exposure, temperature, tint. I use them all the time because these are like basics for editing my videos. I always struggle with my lights, etc. About some things I won't tell about because I just don't need them. For example, these two, I don't need them. They don't change anything to my video, but they are useful if you deal with some chromatic aberrations. So I would like to add a bit exposure right here, and I want a bit cooler without and with Dehancer. I've just did two things. The next thing would be film. Right here you have to choose your profile. Also, to find out about all these profiles, types, etc., you can go to the menus. There are different many options and they change the picture at once. But to be honest, I just keep it as it is, and I use that when I have some shots of nature or city that would be more relevant. The next one would be film developer. Let's see what it can. So I see contrast boost, so it's clear what it does. Gamma correction, I don't need that. Color separation, also it's not relevant right now for my video, so I just don't do that. And color boost, also I would say some basics which I use pretty frequently. Next one is film compression. I do like what it does to my video because, as you can see in the background, I'm using some lights right now too, and when you enable it, it helps me like fine-tune these highlights which I have, and the white point helps me change the appearance of the live word and make it more readable. The next thing is expand. We have black point here and white point. When I pull this black point, I have like more, I'd say, shadows, and for me it's like about contrast thing but more adjustable. The next thing is print, and right now I would like to show you this one on my other shot. Because I do like this print, film and film developer for such shots because it changes the picture just once. Of course, I'd like to edit this one a bit more, but for now, I haven't done a lot. I've just enabled this print option and it has already changed my picture. So I like that one. And also, I would like to show you this film how it's called? Yeah, film right here, how it changed the picture. The next thing is color head. It's about these color wheels which you have in Dehancer, in DaVinci right here. So, but it's just faster. So you can adjust yellow, blue, red color, shadows and midtones. The next thing is film grain, and the film grain option I would like to show you with this shot because that's where I do like this option. There are many options, and you also can choose the amount. The next thing that makes your videos look more like films is this one, emulation. I hope you see the difference right now, but just when I enable that, it adjusts this glare. Now let's move to the film damage. The name of this setting is the same what it does to your video. It adds this effect of a damaged movie and it looks really cool, and you also can adjust the total amount. The next thing is called overscan, and you could see that in some filters or effects. It definitely makes your videos look more interesting and adds this old movie vibe. And what I was surprised about, they have this total impact option. In 2 words, it's just how all these effects that you have applied impact your video. And it's just, one button that can change everything that you have applied before, because sometimes you've applied too many filters or things to your video and you would like to decrease that, but you already don't remember what you have applied and what you have to do, where you have to pull a bit, and here you have it. To say about this plugin in 2 words, it has really cool effects that make your video look like an old movie, and that's very cool because sometimes when you use just some simple filters from an app where you're editing your videos, it looks very artificial, like you can see that it's not real, but here it's very adjustable. I do like that. I've used this plugin for 2 of my videos, and to be honest, I like that for editing travel or nature or food videos, etc. But I don't use it much when I add it myself, when I'm, for example, like right now I'm just sitting and talking inside, and I do use Dehancer still, but I don't use many of their filters because it's I don't need that. It's a bit not my style. But talking about other formats, I really like that. It's very easy to use. They have all the manuals and video tutorials. I've already used to DaVinci Resolve, and I don't need to learn more about any other tool or plugin. It has the same interface and design. It's very, it's a part of DaVinci. It's like a multi-tool to change your video very fast without searching it in different panels or applying some other side tools or apps for editing. If you want to make your videos look more professional and add this, an old movie style, I'd recommend you to try this plugin, definitely. You can find the link in the description of my video. I recommend it.